y'all. How is everybody? Is everybody doing good? I have had a long day. I had to work today. I was very lucky. I was getting ready for work and I got distracted by a stream. Hey, Sunrise Dawn. I was getting ready for work and I got distracted by a stream, and the stream ended and I realized I'd completely lost track of time. Hello! Long time no see! How are you? Can you guys hear me pouring my... Sorry, that's so loud. I'm pouring myself a cola. I should have done it before I went live, but I totally forgot. And I didn't think about how much noise it would make. Paolo, it's so good to see you. It is really good to see you. Oh, thank you, Paolo. You are always so kind and so flattering, and I will try not to move forward and backward like that very much, guys, because I don't like that. I don't know about you, but I certainly don't like it. It's a little in and out and in and out. Anyhow, I got so involved in this stream that I completely lost track of time. The stream ended, and I realized with a start that I had to go to work. And luckily, I had just enough time to get out the door and get to work. I was all ready to go. I just was watching streams while I was waiting to go, and I just got completely distracted into a stream and lost track of time. Yeah. So how was everybody's day? I had a nice day at work. We started out with a long walk at the local nature park. And so I took my chair and my client walked and we went. Lori, how are you, sweetie? It is good to see you. Probably 2 or 3 miles. Chica, hola, ¿cómo está? It's so good to see you. We will have a lovely time. We will miss you terribly. But I understand. Go do your other things. I'm sure they're important. And we will be here when you return. Much hugs, Chica. Much hugs. Indeed, we will, Susan. We will very much miss Chica. Guys, can you believe it? My channel's fully monetized. I can't even believe that. Dragging it around work. You won't bore me with details, but without my glass. Oh no, Lori. I am so sorry, sweetie. Inaugural basket of Karrie. Exactly, No Face. Exactly. So, No Face, I encountered a problem with some of these questions. Cordy, how are you? I haven't seen you for so long. It's nice to see your lovely face. You are here for the inaugural night of Wheel of, except it's a basket yet, but it'll be a wheel. Wheel of Karrie, except it's a basket. See, it's a basket. It's a basket. So, Fuzzy, here's my problem and concern. Yeah, I question the questions. Some of them might be long discussion questions. Some of them might be 2-word answer questions. And some of them I'm just not going to be able to answer. I know. Some of them I'm just not going to be able to answer. So if I get a question that I can't answer, I'm going to read the question first. And if it's one I can't answer, I'll set it aside. Okay, guys? Let's see, what's the first question? Ha ha ha. This is a good one. Thank you, No Face. I know, I just wanted to explain the rules properly. There were some questions I felt I wouldn't be able to answer because they're not mine. But this one says songs that get you up on the dance floor. Well, one that always gets me on the dance floor. Well, I can't do that. I'm monetized. Is there a point reward? I don't know. How do we get a point reward? Do you guys want to guess? See, I think it's okay, Sunrise Dawn. I think that everybody needs to answer the question. So I think it's a community building exercise, No Face. And so it's not just me answering the question, it's all of us answering the question together and getting to know each other. You guys getting to know me. But I want to hear what songs get you up on the dance floor. Okay, that works. That works. Chat votes for best answer before next question. Excellent. We will go with that. Songs that get you up on the dance floor, guys. You want me to say mine first or last? Do I have to find one that isn't one of you guys's? Ooh. Very, very good, Fuzzy. Fuzzy coming in out of nowhere. Bringing the heat. How you doing, Fuzzy? Disco, you like disco, Lori? So Prince's 1999 will get me on the dance floor without fail. Brick House will get me up on the dance floor. Lady Marmalade. Nice. Young Americans. There you go. Yes, Susan. Any song that gets you up on the dance floor. I don't know who's keeping track, though. No Face, are you keeping track so you can take a vote? Get up on the dance floor. Excellent, Sunrise Dawn. Flashlight by Parliament Funkadelic. Jen, sweetie, how are you doing, honey? You'll dance to pretty much anything, Lori? You just like to dance. So, Jen, the question on the table, Fuzzy sent you. Well, that was nice of Fuzzy. Songs that get you up on the dance floor. Thanks, Jen. Pretty hilarious, isn't it, Fuzzy? Pretty freaking hilarious. It certainly is. Okay, so is that the end of that one? And No Face wins by default since he rickrolled us all? I don't think that Fuzzy knows all of these questions. And also, you guys, and especially the replay crew, y'all, you can leave questions in the comments and I will add them to the wheel. Yes, there you go, Jen. Exactly. What gets you to go skate on the weekends? What song gets you up on the floor? That is exactly what he's asking you. What the question's asking. Uptown Funk. Nice. No Face 1, chat 0. Okay, No Face, you win that one by default. It was very good. It's very good. Okay, guys. Jen, well, we're waiting for your answer. Well, look at what that brought up here. Hold on. I got to show you some of this. Come on. Come on. Come here. Oh, Mambo number 5. You won that by fault, not default. There he is. There he is. Okay, No Face. You won it by your fault. I got it. I got it. Mambo number 5 is excellent. I'm going to want to make a playlist. Somebody should make a playlist. Who's good at taking notes? Come on. Everybody wants to see you. Oh, I did not want your ear. I did not want your ear in my lip gloss. Did we lose Jen? I hope not. I hope not. I want to hear her answer about what gets her skating. Hey, Red, how you doing? Yeah, Jen's been in here. Oye, oye, ¿cómo va? Yeah. Yeah. Oye, ¿cómo va? Melindo. Such a pretty girl. It's always good to see Red. Is the house coming together, Red? Are you liking it? Most dancing song. Won't you please let me back in your arms? Anymore, I want you back. Ooh, ooh, baby, I want you back. Hey, Mandy, how are you? Sorry, push it. That one's good. Sorry, Mandy, I was just getting totally distracted into the Jackson 5. I just got completely transported back to childhood and the Jackson 5. And Push It is a great song. Brick House is an excellent one. Orion. Excuse me, y'all. He's getting into something. Hey! Come here. You are being naughty, and I will put you in your crate if you keep this up. Okay, guys, it's a good thing I went and checked. Hey, Fraud, how you doing? You cheated and you're looking up skating songs. Mandy, it's really nice to see you. Yep, salt and pepper. So the question online that Funky Cold Medina, that's a good one too. The question on the docket is, what song gets you up on the dance floor? What song gets you up on the dance floor? No Face and Fuzzy or Tied? There you go. Who won't take the cuffs off, you no face? I don't have any. Don't tell me I've got cuffs on, you no face. Jamaican Funk by Tom Brown. Nice, Fraud. Any other good ones, you guys? We're going to have a Spotify channel for this. Oh, what did you do, no face? YMCA is a good one. Excellent. The chicken dance. Yeah, that one works, Susan. That one does work. It certainly does work. Wouldn't it be fun if we could just play all these songs? You're a mosh pit girl? Yeah. I was always scared of mosh pits, Fuzzy. Mm. I like the twist. I also like the Beatles version of the twist. Lookout Weekends, Jen. Is that a song that I don't know? It sounds excellent. Lookout Weekends is a good song name. Debbie Deb and Lookout Weekends. Okay, very cool. I'm going to have to. Here I come because weekends are made for fun. Really? That's amazing. Once won the twist, dancing to the twist. Dance off, dancing to the twist. Excellent. Shake It Off does get me bopping along to it. That one does get me bopping along to it, I have to admit. Oh, Red, you are excellent. What would I do without you guys? I don't know what I would do without you guys. Voice recognition futzing out on you, Jen. Grandma loved telling the story about dancing all night. I bet she did. It Takes Two. You mosh to Adele. I love Adele. I do love Adele. I grew up on rhythm and blues and bluegrass and country. Freakazoid. Nice, Jen. Lisa and Cult Jam. That one I haven't heard for a long time. Let the Beat Hit 'em. Is that what it is? I haven't heard that one for a long time. You can't dance, but you can skate. That's so cool, Jen. That's so cool. Dr. Hook, Freakers Ball. Dancing Lessons by Sinead O'Connor. Very nice. Yes, I'll be your freakazoid. Come on and wind me up. Mm-hmm. I remember that. You're raised on country music too, Sunrise Dawn? Yeah, I was raised on bluegrass and country and Motown and I grew up in Minneapolis, so I grew up with Minneapolis song Rock Lobster. Indeed. Xenu Free, how are you doing? Walk like an Egyptian. There you go, No Face. Very good. Xenu Free, we are talking songs that get you up on the dance floor. Here you come again. Very off key. Very off key. Yes, fraud. Yes. In fact, pre 1999 is where I got my Prince cred. Groove is in the heart. Yeah, I'm not singing it anymore, y'all. I want to, but that is a great jam. What'd you guys think about the breakdancing Olympics? The Groove is in the Heart by Delight is an excellent jam. It is an awesome song. No, on the breakdancing. I heard it was pretty bad. Journey, how are you doing? Journey, we are talking songs that get you up on the dance floor. First day of junior year. What, Journey? Your cousin would have loved that there's breakdancing in the Olympics. I hope he was breakdancing in heaven. Excellent sunrise, Dawn. New question? Check the basket. Okay. No Face has ruled. It is time for a new question. Okay. Rather, No Face has ruled. It's no time for a new question. Ooh. If you could live, sorry, Journey. If you could live in another country for a year, no strings attached, which country would you choose? Flea Factory, how you doing? Ireland, Xenu Free. Nice. It is a very hard question. You're waiting for the blunt rolling team, Big Chief? That is hilarious. That would be excellent. Janelle, how you doing? Question number 2 in tonight's Wheel of Karrie is, if you could live in another country for a year, no strings attached, where would you live? France? That is, isn't it hard, Fraud? Maybe Italy for the food, or Iceland, or Japan. Italy for the food, or Japan. Iceland. Iceland would be nice, Lori. Flea Factory, I am sorry for you. How old is your kid? Jamaica, really, Big Chief. Jamaica sounds excellent. What I'd like is a year to travel the world, not just a year to live in one country. Yeah, you get one. You get one. I want a whole year to travel the world, no strings attached. Italy for the food, Switzerland for the nice people, the beauty and chocolate, Alaska for the Alaska. Mars. Okay, no face. That's excellent. That's excellent. Jen Wow is here. My youngest is 15. I understand this problem. I am really glad that I'm postmenopausal raising a teenage daughter. Too many things trying to get you, Lori. Who said Canada? We could trade. There you go. That's the way to do it. Trade up. Anybody else got any place exotic? I did all the back to school online for that reason. Your last name is Paris. You had to choose France. I like France. Yours would never let you get away with that? Oh, Flea, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Five and 22. That's right, Sunrise Dawn. Bought her a lot of bras to choose from. Australia. Yes, Journey. Australia. So I've told you guys about my best friend who is in a coma. Not in a coma, but is no longer in a coma, but is not able to fully communicate and is in another country. That would be... Oh yeah, Flea Factory. My oldest is 30 and my youngest is 15. How old is your oldest, Flea? So I would go live... Thank you, Flea. I would go live in that country. If that wasn't a thing... No strings attached. If I could go anywhere, I would go... I've got a 15-year span, Flea. We've got the same. Yeah, my oldest will be 31 in April. So, yeah, I don't run across people with that much of a span very often at all. So, if I could go anywhere, Robert, how are you? Well, Sunrise Dawn, I have a sister who is 20 years younger than me and only about 10 years older than my eldest. So, Robert, it is good to see you. All things being equal, if there were no strings attached and we didn't live in a world where I would go visit my friend's country, Flea Factory, my husband and I could look at each other from across a crowded airport concourse and get each other pregnant. Thank you, Journey. Thank you very much. So if that wasn't a thing about my friend, I think I would want I'd want to go to Iran. What math? You have 5 kids total? I have 4, please. Finally, when I got pregnant the 5th time, when I was 42, actually, it wasn't the 5th time, it was about the 9th time, but that's a long story. There's miscarriages in there. When I got pregnant that last time, I already had one ectopic in my life. I was 42 years old and I had an IUD. I had an IUD. I was 42 years old and I only had one fallopian tube and I showed up pregnant. That's my life. That's my life. When you were little in the car, my mom would ask where we were going and she would say, to hell if we don't change. That's hilarious. No face. To hell if we don't change. You only got one. Thankful because she was a surprise and you shouldn't have any more kids by the docks. I'm so glad, Journey. One of the things I was going to say, I realized I had always felt like I was doing birth control wrong. Like if I was doing it right, I wouldn't be getting pregnant. And what I finally realized was that everything is on a spectrum. So if there are people who have a hard time getting pregnant, there are going to be people who have an easy time getting pregnant. Everything is on a spectrum. And so, yeah, I'm really sorry. I wish it was evenly distributed how easy it is to have babies. That would seem a lot better. Yeah, it's a little nuts, Flea Factory. It's a little nuts. I love my kids. In hindsight, I would not change anything. And your dad said by the time he figured out what caused it, he had 5 kids. That's hilarious, Susan. You had to get your tubes tied at 25. 3 was enough. Well, Lori, I figured with one fallopian tube and an IUD, I only had one fallopian tube after I had the ectopic. The ectopic burst my fallopian tube. I'm lucky I didn't bleed to death. So I lost the fallopian tube. Flea, it's good to see you. Hugs and hugs. We will see you next time you're here. So I only had one tube, Lori. I figured, right, Lori? Have a good time shopping, Flea. So that's my how I got pregnant story. The child was that child was not meant to be. That child, because I had an IUD, it was likely to be another tubal. And so we had to medically resolve it. So it didn't try to kill me because we tried to avoid ectopic pregnancies. Journey, I just read those two comments together, and I thought you were referencing that Flea is the one who told you that what's lowered the birth control strength. But yeah, that is a thing that happens. I never used oral birth control methods. I used an IUD for the majority of the time. So, any other answers to the question? If you could live in another country for a year, no strings attached, where would you live? Becky, how are you doing, honey? The question on the table, Becky, is if you could live in another country for a year, no strings attached, where would you live? Yeah, you missed the Eon bind. I got it after a minute, Journey. I got it. Journey, you heard about my grades, right? You were in here and I told you at some point. So, Becky, you're required to answer the question. In Mexico, traveling all of it. That's excellent. From age 26 to now, you got the shot. Last time you took oral, I got pregnant. Yep. I got pregnant on no, you didn't what? Oh, no, you didn't hear about my grades? I got a B plus A minus on the paper, and I got an A minus in the class. I'm just still floored. She had really nice things to say about my paper. I, of course, am still convinced that I completely killed it. Grades for school. Thank you, Kathy. Your mom knew someone who thought they couldn't conceive, so they adopted a chimpanzee, but then they got pregnant. Really and truly, Cricket? People did the craziest shit back in the day. Thank you, Journey. I don't know why that randomly occurred to me, Journey. It's not. I was just so shocked. Just as much as I'm shocked, thank you, Fraud. Just as much as I'm shocked at being fully monetized. Yeah, Fuzzy, that's kind of where I am. Wow, Cricket. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. So we got enough answers. We got enough answers to where you would go, where you would live for a year. I think those have been excellent, excellent questions. Oh, the stories, Becky. Becky, we should talk someday, girl. I had I got pregnant with an IUD and one fallopian tube. And what else? Oh, I had 2 VBACs that were induced. What about opening up a daycare center, Journey? So we had Mexico, we had Australia, we had all kinds of answers. No face, is it time for a new one? Instead of a chimpanzee, you get to send the kids home. Yeah. Now I get it, Journey. No, it's not the usual well on the IUD, Becky. I figured being 42 with one fallopian tube and an IUD was enough to keep me from getting pregnant. Ah, this is a nice one. That's not unusual while on the IUD. Not unusual. Getting pregnant or tubals? Tubal pregnancies. I may not be. You had 4 miscarriages. I am so sorry, Becky. Yes, Journey. I am so sorry, Becky. I miscarried my first and fought really hard for my firstborn. I can't imagine. It's hard enough once. I'm really sorry, Becky. Yes. Yes. It does happen more often. It just happened more often for me twice, Becky. How do you best offer love and support to your friends? So what are some of the ways that y'all offer love and support to your friends? By listening. Anne, how are you, sweetie? And welcome. The question on the table for all of us, dear, is how do you best offer love and support to your friends? Hugs. Yes, Kathy. Hugs and love. Laughter. Being there for them. Yep. Being there for them when they need you. Yes, Fraud. I think. Hey, Jen, how are you? Being still, quiet, and listening with compassion. Uh-huh. Yes. For me, it's also really important for my friends to be able to tell me when they think that I've been in the wrong, or when they think I've stepped over the line, or if they think something I've done is inappropriate, because I need to trust my friends to give me that sort of feedback. Those are the people who can best see that, in my opinion. Jen, the question on the table, if you didn't hear it, is how do you best offer love and support to your friends? Yes, Fraud, honesty. Yes. I want to know. I want you to tell me with love and compassion if you think I'm being inappropriate. I want it to come from you. I'd rather that than somebody else. After they vent and cry, take them out for ice cream. Your mom said ice cream fixes everything. I agree, Becky. Ice cream does fix everything. Churros come pretty close, though, Becky. So I think we're all in agreement. I get a lot of listening, compassion, ice cream, chocolates. Ask what kind of support they are looking for. Sometimes it's just listening, so they may not want suggestions. Yes, that's always good thing, Cricket. That's always wise. What do you want? What do you need from me? What can I offer you? By listening, by sticking up for them when someone is talking behind their backs, by giving them your shoulder when they need it. Yes, indeed. By keeping their confidences. That's really important. That's okay, Sunrise Dawn. Multitasking is allowed. What else, y'all? How do you offer love and support to your friends? Show up, be there. Mm-hmm. Orion, come here. Hey, Orion. Be responsive. Yeah, yeah. Orion. Oh, this new location over here, guys. He's not getting used to it. Oh, fraud. That's so nice. That's such a nice thing to do. Orion, what are you doing? Offering mutual self-care. Things enjoyed together. That one's good, Cricket. She lives on mac and cheese. Really? She doesn't cook at all, Fraud? Wow. Wow. Sorry, I had a message come in. She eats it every day as we go out, unless we go out or I cook or something. Wow. She doesn't want to learn to cook. She doesn't want to learn to cook. She's never really cooked. Her husband used to cook. I am sorry. I am sorry for your friend's loss. That's got to be hard watching a friend go through that. Mm. She's having a lot of loss all at once. That really sucks, Fraud. That really sucks. I am sorry to hear that. She didn't get a chance to grieve her husband because her mother got ill and she moved in with her. Oh my God. That just sounds awful. That just sounds awful, Frog. No Face, are you still here? Now she's struggling. I'm sure she is. I'm sure she is. I can imagine that she's severely struggling, and this was all through the pandemic too, right, Fraud? What a burden. What an incredible burden. People are just living things are so hard for people. You never know how hard it is for somebody. Yeah, I am glad she has you, Fraud. She lives close, Fraud. So next question, y'all. You ready? This is another good one. Nice. That's really nice. I'm glad you're there for her, Fraud. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Anne. Exactly. What's your favorite recipe to make? Yes, hugs and hugs. Fraud, hugs and hugs from Lori and from me. You're welcome. You've got to have some place. You've got to have some place to feel safe. Um, you've got to have some place to come and unburden too. Paella or your mom's ranch beans and homemade salsa. Ooh, Anne. Nice. Shepherd's pie. I love shepherd's pie. Fajitas. Lovely, y'all. Your father-in-law's steak marinade recipe. Nice, Fuzzy. You're afraid to cook. You used to bake before child, but things do not turn out right. I hate to buy food and then ruin it. Oh, Journey. I'm sorry things aren't turning out right. You don't have a favorite recipe? Do you have a favorite thing to make, DOA? You're not DOA. I'm reading it from the beginning. Do you have a favorite thing to make, Fraud? You don't like cooking at all, so you get salad. You like salad. Salad works, Cricket. Salad works excellently. Oh, Lori. Next level. Wow, Lori, that would be excellent. Was it a horseradish cheddar? So I know I've seen horseradish cheddars around. Oh, Becky, you're so kind. Your mom's pot roast. Nice. Yes, a cheddar. Excellent. Oh, that would be so tasty. What's my favorite recipe to cook? She lives in Wilmington. One of her neighbors feeds her too. I'm so glad people are looking out for her. Community, guys, is so important. And if we want this community to survive, we really need to start figuring out ways to make that happen. Because the people trying to destroy it, the people behind the attempts to destroy it, who may not be who they appear to be, they don't care about the community. S'mores pancakes a la mode. Graham crackers and chocolate chips in the batter, melted marshmallows between the cakes, topped with vanilla ice cream. You have kids, Fuzzy? Because, oh my goodness. There are a lot of things that I like to make. I don't know. I've got an excellent meatloaf recipe. I do some amazing Middle Eastern food. Yes, and I am with you. My head hurts thinking about it, but I want to try it. I want it on a menu somewhere. Absolutely. Mini marshmallows. Your favorite recipe to eat is banana pudding. I have an excellent recipe for banana cream pie. You love making cobblers, but meals you suck at? It doesn't suck. I love any meal someone else cooks for me. It's such a treat to be fed. It can be super simple. Yes, that is, I like that one too, Anne. I like that one too. Journey, I have a killer banana cream pie recipe with scratch custard. I bet it doesn't suck, Fuzzy. It doesn't sound at all like it sucks. It sounds pretty excellent. I may have to try it. I may have to try it. Dessert, I know Bill Cosby isn't popular anymore for good reason. Um, but I agree with him that chocolate cake has eggs and milk and flour and all things that are good for you. French toast with lemon curd. Oh my goodness gracious, Becky. That sounds excellent. Scratch custard would make roadkill a beautiful dish. You're not you're not wrong, Anne. You're not wrong. You have one neighbor that cooks you Mexican food from scratch, and your other neighbor bakes from scratch. Oh my goodness gracious, Kathy. That's amazing. That's amazing. French toast and lemon curd. Now I'm going to be craving French toast. We have Heritage Festival here. Different countries put out their local cuisine. It's your favorite festival ever. Yeah, Lori, I love food festivals. We used to have stuff like that too, and it is my favorite. I love going to the Minnesota State Fair. Um I really enjoy food. Even though I'm really picky, I really enjoy food. And one of the things I like about food fairs is there's so much variety that it often doesn't matter. It often doesn't matter that I'm picky, right? Often there is enough variety that I can get novel and interesting things that still. Food is a large part of the reason you're going to Europe. Yeah, I bet. I bet. You will travel for food, and you're in California, aren't you? Orion has got a terrible mat behind his ear, y'all. Festival is in Edmonton. So what are not regular French toast. It has fresh berries. The scones are flaky and buttery. Now you want some. Oh, that sounds excellent. They making the French toast out of a special kind of bread, Becky. There are special breads you can make things out of. I mean, it'll make a difference what bread you use in your French toast. I am drooling too. Your friend would like the French toast, you'd go for the scones. I've had so many bad scones, Fraud. Just so many bad scones. Okay, this one jumped out at me. Edmonton isn't that far away for a good food fair. Yes, I am fat. I am fat too, Anne. Portuguese sweetbread is amazing for French toast. I use Hawaiian bread a lot, Cricket, which is sort of similar if I understand correctly. You can't wait to go away and eat. We are going with a theme tonight, y'all. There are no wrong answers. I am just saying, before I ask this question, you have to remember, y'all, that it has been consensus that everybody is welcome in the corner joint. Bad scones are everywhere. And they still need fresh lemon curd or raspberry jam and must have clotted cream. Yes. Day old French bread. Yes. Pretty much the same. Good, Cricket. So I'll remind you all that you've decided this is a neutral zone and anyone is welcome here. Favorite pizza? A baguette. Nice, Becky. Favorite pizza? Clotted cream is excellent. Yeah, I've had too many bad scones. They're not a good substitution. Combo pizza, but what's on your combo pizza journey? Spicy chicken sausage pizza. Ooh. That sounds tasty. Does that have a red sauce or a white sauce, Fuzzy? Red or orange cheese or white cheese? Tomatoes? Spicy chicken sausage. That sounds excellent. Hamburger with onions and bell peppers. Nice, Susan. Pepperoni with mushrooms and jalapenos. Red sauce mozzarella. Okay. Veggie gourmet with extra sausage on top from Round Table. The veggie with sausage makes every employee do a double take. That's funny, Anne. Bacon, mushroom, onions, bell peppers, and jalapenos. Or ham and pineapple. Interesting, Frog. Y'all like bell peppers. Okay, Cricket. Sleep sweet, honey. Yeah, I'm starting to get hungry too. You're at the rehab center. It's 8:20 and you haven't had dinner? Becky. You have a call button you can push? That is a little late for no dinner. I know, Keith. I understand that this would be a heated subject. I hear you fully and completely. I'm just going to put it back on the table that the consensus agreement that all of us came to was that everybody was welcome here. Oh, you're visiting your mom? Okay, Becky. I was thinking you were sitting there. That something had happened that I didn't know about. Hey, MLH, how are you doing? The subject on the table, MLH. The question for the chat We all have to remember that we've agreed to disagree in this chat. So the question for the chat is favorite pizza. Shoot. What's your favorite pizza? You can have the Hawaiian pizza, but I eat the pineapple separately. You're waiting on the hubby. Interesting, you eat it separately. Supreme pizza. So what's on a Supreme, MLH? Black olives and mushrooms, Keith. Nice. Canadian bacon, extra cheese. Lettuce, tomato, and pickles. No pizza, Thaddeus. Italian beef, no veggies. It is your second favorite. Italian beef, no veggies. Interesting. What's Italian beef? You forgot the olives on your pizza, fraud. Green or black? Green or black, fraud. And I need to ask, are we talking traditional pizzeria, or are we talking newfangled pizzeria, or do I just have to pick, right? Black? I agree, black. Really, my favorite, if I'm pushed, my go-to is sausage and pepperoni and black olives and red onions and white onions and black olives and mushrooms. That is my go-to. But I also love Mexican pizza. Fuzzy, I'm with you on Mexican pizza. Sausage, mushrooms, pepperoni, black olives, green olives. Oh, Thaddeus, interesting. I don't like green olives on pizza. Pepperoni, mushroom, black olives, green olives, pretty much anything except onions, peppers, or anchovies. Yeah, I won't do anchovies. You only like green olives in beer. You like black olives. Green olives in beer? Oof. But then I don't like beer, MLH. You've never heard of green olives on pizza? I'm sure it could be done. Mac and cheese pizza, Susan. That would be interesting. No olives for you. You love them on a salad, but they need to be whole. Anchovies are not good ever, MLH. Yeah, mac and cheese pizza. I'm asking questions there too, fraud. It's like hamburgers, taco meat, and cheddar cheese, and then lettuce and then it cooks, and then you put lettuce and sour cream and stuff on top. I really like it. The green olive is really good with the black olives. You wouldn't think so, but it's good. Interesting, Thaddeus. Interesting, Thaddeus. Mac and cheese pizza. Well, tell me, how do you do mac and cheese pizza? I make a killer barbecue chicken pizza at home just by using the mini naans at Costco, the mini Indian breads at Costco, and some barbecue sauce and some onions and some rotisserie chicken from Costco, and shredded Mexican cheese. And it makes an excellent, excellent pizza. The only things you don't eat are brains and eyeballs. After that is fair game to this Spaniard. Your blood tells me it is all yummy, and you are more brave than I. I am terribly picky, but what I tell people is it leaves more of the good stuff for them. Purple pierogi, you ordered I don't even know how to say that. I don't even know how to say that, Lori, but that looks so cool. I love pierogies. I love pierogies. Pizza is nature's perfect food. There you go. Pizza should be its own food group. Yes. It's Velveeta mac and cheese on a pizza crust. Who makes this magical mac and cheese pizza, Susan? I'm a sucker for Godfather's taco pizza. I have to say, I am just a sucker for Godfather's taco pizza. Come on up here. Come on. Oh, I blew by it, guys. First Minnesota goodbye. Bernie makes really good pierogies. I always joke with her that there is no spice in them. Pizza, Kathy. Pizza is its own food group. Yes, Minnesota goodbye, Fuzzy. I missed the first one. We're almost to the second one. What if it's I thought I misread you, Kathy. What if it's not its own food group? I don't know. You're starving? I think it's hilarious that all the questions I'm pulling out have to do with food. We're going to have a theme night. I think that's all the questions that had anything to do with food. Okay, Fraud. So is it time to go to the next question, y'all? We'll see how many we can get through these in a night. You guys are going to have to give me some more in the hear you out and keep an open mind. Sliced almonds on top of the pizza and brown. Sliced almonds, thin sliced almonds, Lori? I think that would actually be good. Yes, thin. That would be really good. There used to be a company, a restaurant where I lived that made Armenian flatbread into a pizza. And so it was a flatbread that was a crisp flatbread that they would toast with just a little bit of cheese and some toppings. But one of the things they put on it was sunflower seeds. And believe it or not, sunflower seeds on pizza is actually a good thing. Lightly browned. Yeah, I'm going to try it. Vogue for the dance floor. There you go, Oregon Valley girl. Indeed, Vogue. Pizza in Toronto tried it in the 80s. You tried it and loved it. Excellent. You never understood until some of the relatives came in the early 70s for a visit, and I was like, oh, this explains your food choices. Yes, yes. Indeed, indeed. And you're going to be there the 23rd through the 26th? Okay, MLH. I will keep it in mind. You prefer no nuts on your pizza? What about pine nuts? You would eat pine nuts on your pizza, wouldn't you, MLH? Sunflower seeds on the crust is yummy. Yeah. You've been to Tenerife, but not mainland Spain. Pizza can handle a lot of life's choices. When I was a little girl, I know how to make zucchini with a pizza with a zucchini feta crust. I know how to make pizza with a polenta crust. I know how to make pizza with a cauliflower crust. Pizza can do all manner of things. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. And look at that. We managed to handle this without the dreaded pineapple problem. Oh, this is an excellent one, but it needs to wait until a day that I'm on the computer. Okay, you guys? So I'm going to put it back. I'm going to put it back in the basket. Mayonnaise sandwiches. I remember people telling, when I was a kid, my daddy used to make mayonnaise and peanut butter sandwiches, MLH. Mayonnaise and peanut butter. Ooh. This will be a good one to close out on. Yes, she is, MLH. Canary potatoes with the red and green sauces. Interesting, Lori. It's one of the hard things about traveling is you can never find food as good at home as you can when you're traveling, it seems. What about the current world would be the most surprising to your younger self? You were poor growing up and didn't have much choice at times. Yeah, my husband was really poor growing up too, MLH. He talks about mayonnaise sandwiches. Indeed. I thought my family was poor until I met my husband and got my head screwed on straight. You're funny, MLH. What about the current world? Oh, I don't necessarily disagree with you there, Anne. Fried bologna sandwich. There you go, Kathy. I think so too, Lori. Women having to fight for reproductive freedom? Yes, Fuzzy. Yes, Fuzzy. What about the current world would be most surprising to your younger self? Prices? Oh, yeah. Prices are a big one. Yes, Anne. A lot of people saying yes, Anne. Sunrise, dawn, technology. That a cult like Scientology actually existed. Yeah, what about the current world would be most surprising to your younger self? I think it's a straight ass tie between you didn't know you were broke, the whole neighborhood was. Yeah, Becky, exactly. Exactly. Um, I think the technology. I'm sure it does, Anne. I'm sure it does. Y'all are just enough older than me, and just enough older than me. It's only 5 years. That you remember it a little better. Dinner distraction, what'd you miss? You missed all the food questions, no face. So the first food question, technology for sure, sunrise, dawn. So the current question on the table, no face, is what about the current world would be most surprising to your younger self? And technology and the whole fucking thing and reproductive freedom, all of those are on the table. You missed if you could go to another country with no strings attached for a whole year, where would you go? How do you best offer love and support to your friends? What's your favorite recipe to make? Favorite pizza? Cell phones. Not only do cell phones blow my mind, I will tell you guys early in the late 90s, my husband worked for a startup that was interested. No, it had to be the 2000s. My husband worked for a startup that was trying to figure out a way to make electronic cash a thing. like Apple Cash, like Venmo, like PayPal, like all that shit. He worked for a startup that was trying to make it happen before all those things were a thing. And they didn't get there first. And now we're in a world so far beyond what we thought of with PayPal 20 years ago. Not having to pay. Remember long distance bills, you guys? Talk on a phone when in the car, stream video live while in the car. Anybody video chatting. We thought the joke of Dick Tracy talking on a wristwatch was never going to happen. Indeed, Anne. Cell phones still blow your mind. I never thought we would advance past rotary phones. Yes. Yes. Housing prices. Yes. The lack of dinosaurs, no face, you crack me up. How little dangerous quicksand actually is. Yes. And how infrequently you stumble upon lava. Housing prices, right, Becky? I'm kind of disappointed it wasn't a danger. That's hilarious, Anne. Mac and cheese box was a treat at Grandma's household. Indeed. Nothing seems to get lost in the Bermuda Triangle anymore. That is, Fuzzy, I hadn't thought about that. That is a rather good point. Rather interesting. Second Minnesota goodbye, y'all. It was BS even when you were a kid. I don't know. I believed in all that shit when I was a kid. Self-driving cars. Tell me the fuck about it, Becky. Self-driving cars. Is that shit not the weirdest shit ever? Remember my mom calling family in England only at low price times. She'd wait by the phone watching the clock. I remember that too, Lori. I remember how expensive, and it could be more expensive to call across town than it was to call across state lines. What's up with that? Exactly. Don't give away your location. No face. Hilarious. Tourists in space. Oh, wow. Exactly. No face. Inspector Gadget much, Fuzzy? Why don't we have briefcases that turn into flying cars yet? I don't know. I don't know that I would trust. I don't know that I would trust a briefcase in a flying car. Although, I'll tell you what, Fuzzy. I just got my new desktop computer, and it came in a box this big. A new gaming powerful desktop computer. Came in a box. Yay big. That thick. Pretty amazing, Fuzzy. Pretty amazing. You just passed 2 in LA, Becky. Wow. Waiting until after 7 to call relatives. Exactly. On Sundays. You had a party line in the 70s. We moved into a house out in the country in the 90s, and they had just gotten rid of party lines. We're not too far from the Jetsons. No, we are not, MLA. Sorry, guys. My son called. Child called. I had to take the call. I apologize. Yes, you should just talk until I find back. I am back. I am back. I decided to take a ride on one of those flying cars in a briefcase. Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I have not had a desktop computer probably in 20 years, you guys. You almost put my face on a milk carton. Atari. No face. Pong. I remember my first Pong game. When you canceled your landline because you only used your cell, the ATT lady laughed at you. Now you can't get landlines in most places. Yes. You thought the Bermuda Triangle had come for me. Hilarious. Fraud. We had a landline up until about 12 years ago. And when we moved from the house we'd lived in, from the area we'd lived in since the 90s, where we had a landline and everybody was expected to have a landline before cell phones were really a thing, we had that number and we used that number and people knew that number. But we also had cell phones. But when we moved to Portland 12 years ago, we just gave people our cell phone numbers then. And so they didn't offer landlines. We could only get computer line. I used to play that Oregon Trail game MLH on TTY. I played it on terminal machines, typing terminal machines. Back before I used to play it in grade school on TTY systems. Now, anybody, I mean, like, seriously, y'all, I am broadcasting live from my house. You still have a landline and you need it because you can only use cells if you have satellite Wi-Fi. You told the lady what happens if the electricity goes out and you need 911. Yes, and I can understand there's reasons to still have a landline. We just had no good reason to. There are devices that run your cell phone into your house's landline. I could never get it to work right, though. Yes, that. Exactly that. And now it's like, why have both? Why have a third number? You always get what, Mexican long hair? You took your parents' phone number when they moved and you moved at the same time. So you transferred the number to your new house. So you've had the same number for 64 years. I can understand not giving that up, Kathy. I can totally understand not giving that up. We'd had the same number for like 15 or 20 years. It was really hard to give it up, but we were moving to another state. So it was harder. It was harder. You've never seen the Oregon Trail game. Really, Oregon Valley girl. You can find it online now. I'll send you a link. Remember when you had to remember phone numbers? Now try to name 3 numbers. Right.
You had to remember everybody's numbers, or you had to have a directory, or you had to carry a phone book with everybody's numbers written in. And if you lost it, you were in deep shit. Yes, you could probably download that game from somewhere. You live way out in the country and actually live in a black cell spot. You're practically Amish, as your ex used to say. I've lived that far out in the country, at least hung with people who lived that far out in the country. It's got its points. It's got its points. Phone books. Oh my goodness. Looking up services in the yellow pages, y'all. If you needed something done, 3rd Minnesota goodbye, y'all. 3rd Minnesota goodbye. If you needed something done, then that's excellent, Jen. If you needed something done, you had to go look in the yellow pages. You still have a couple of phone books, you need to throw them out. You recycle them, Thaddeus. We need to have a Xenu Marlene. Dialing the operator, or 411. Yeah. Or calling for the time. There was a phone number you could call for the time. Xenu Marlene, y'all. And we will finish up and drop into Jen's here in a few minutes. I think I am having, let your fingers do the walking through the yellow pages. Indeed, Kathy. You love living rural. Wish I was out further, but family ranch is only 10 miles from town. Still surrounded by cattle ranches so far. That's excellent, Anne. 8675309. Indeed. You still have a number you can call for the time and weather? That's excellent, Sunrise Dawn. Popcorn for time. Plant them and grow new phone book trees. There you go. Now you got that song stuck in your head. Thaddeus, you missed it earlier. Everybody called that number, Becky. Everybody called that number. They must have caused so much trouble for those poor people. We got Rickrolled earlier. No Face Rickrolled all of us. Y'all missed it. You could call on a public phone booth, even in dinky little towns. Yes, you'd find more than one public phone. You're welcome, Oregon Valley girl. We got another one to go. We still got to wait for the first person to show up after the third Minnesota goodbye. Yeah, No Face Rick rolled us. It was a terrible thing. Really? It was decades later they had to close it down, Anne. That doesn't surprise me. Get off my lawn. Don't steal my phone books. So, guys, those of you, Mom's Rehab Center has a payphone. Wow, Becky. Yeah, but you know how much payphones cost nowadays, y'all? Oh my goodness gracious. Lord Almighty. They want so much money for a payphone nowadays. It has got to be a losing business. My third child is 21. And I remember when they were in first grade having a meeting with the police officer in first grade where the cop came and talked to the class, and the kids didn't know what a payphone was. They'd never seen a payphone. And this was in they're 21. 15 years ago. 15 years ago, payphones were already pretty much non-existent. You saw a booth of a payphone somewhere. You use the cheap ones they send us for crafty clue toss papers. I don't know what you mean there, Anne. Last time you used one, it was a quarter. Crafty clue toss papers. I'm not sure what you mean, Anne. I think you're referring to the phone books. You've used that phone book. The people that answer like, what do you want? Right? 50 cents here. You still have booths around. None of them work. Crafty glue, that is. Oh, interesting. An actual payphone? Yeah. Remember getting mad when payphones went up to a quarter from a dime, right? No face. I remember that too. I remember payphone. They were a dime forever, y'all. They were a dime forever. That's why you put dimes in your penny loafers so that you had a dime for a phone call. Your dad worked at the phone company. When our town took out the payphones, he brought some of them home for us to play with. Your parents still have it. That's cool, Sunrise Dawn. When you use glue on paper stuff and then you toss the page out with, oh, got it, Anne. Excellent. That makes perfect sense. Crafty glue. Yes, I got it now. I thought I saw photo booths recently in airports and there were no phones. It could be used as a private space now. Or phone booths. Interesting, Thaddeus. Yeah, just as a private space to have a cell phone call. That could be useful now, Thaddeus. Yeah. Used to call home collect. Your mom wouldn't accept, but she knew you were ready to be picked up from wherever you was. Exactly, Kathy. It was a way to notify people without the thing. See you later, MLH. Have a good night. Your mom was a telephone operator in her 20s. They are numbers like RHP 290. Interesting, Anne. Yes. Used to buy popcorn and candy at Sears and ice cream shakes at the pharmacy diner. Indeed, Becky. There is still, or at least 10 years ago, 12 years ago, there was still a pharmacy with a soda fountain and grill inside. Was excellent. I went for a patty melt. I like to have patty melts at the grill. You were out in the boonies, so you didn't have very many payphones where you are? Yes, there aren't very many youngins in the chat generally. There are not very many youngins in the chat generally. My chat tends to run 40 and over. Woolworths had the best fries? Really, Kathy? Better than McDonald's, or was this before McDonald's were everywhere? Drive-in movies. Indeed. Do you guys remember $2 Tuesdays at the movie theater? Your great grandmother was a telephone operator. You're thinking on one of the old switchboards. Cool, sunrise dawn. You worked as a young adult at our local pharmacy that had a lunch counter up until the 90s. Nice, Anne. Before the McDonald's, but yes, the best fries. Excellent, Kathy. You guys remember smoking everywhere? Everywhere. People smoked everywhere. People smoked everywhere. People smoked in their houses. The last time I tried to use a phone booth, some guy was in there ripping off his suit. He came out in red and blue tights with a big S on his chest. I guess it put you off phone booths for a while, no face. Even where you worked. Indeed, fraud. Some places had ashtrays right on the desk so you didn't have to go out for a cigarette. You had to wait for 6 operators to connect to call to Europe. Yes, I remember shit like that. It was the weirdest thing. You couldn't call direct. Even in the elevators. Yes, they smoked in hospitals. They smoked everywhere. Everywhere. They smoked on airplanes. They had vending machines for cigarettes. Indeed, they did. Indeed, they did. Everywhere. They smoked everywhere. Restaurants, schools. Everybody smoked. Ashtrays at McDonald's, the cigarette machine at the Waffle House. Fuzzy, it's always a pleasure to have you. It's always a pleasure to have you. I'm glad we hit all the bases. In airplanes, too. Uh-huh. In airplanes, in their houses, in the shopping malls, the bowling alley, the bar, always the bar. Smoke was terrible. You'd go outside to get fresh air. You'd go outside to get fresh air. Everybody smoked. The skating rink. Yeah. The roller rink, Kathy, or the ice skating rink? The roller rink, I bet. You were 13 and bought 6. Oh, shit, Becky. Do you remember going to the grocery store to get cigarettes or to the liquor store to get alcohol with a note from your mom? Or with a check, an empty check that had been signed from your mom? Bowling alleys, cigarettes, beer, and greasy food with at least 3 barflies in every one. Exactly, Anne. Rolling rink. Yes, Kathy. Yes, you missed Jen Wow. She was in here earlier talking about roller skating. What songs get her up on the rink? What songs get her up and rolling around the rink? I don't know. We've come a long ways. I mean, we've come a long ways. There's some things that are better. There's some things that are better. Disco. Disco. Who'd ever thunk it the disco would make a comeback? Kids could buy their parents cigs at the local liquor store. Yeah. Yeah. All I needed was a note from my mom. The 70s were amazing. Yes. I was just a little too young to enjoy it, Lori. Yeah, somehow the bowling alley did always have the best burgers. That is true. Boiling alley? Yeah, I saw she said that. It's pretty funny. Growing up in Venice, skateboards and roller skating were a way of transportation. I expect so, Becky. You love going to watch your dad bowl on his league nights? That's so nice, Anne. That's so nice. It's nice to hear there's people still going to their league nights and bowling. And it's nice to hear when people are still coming together in their small communities. Okay, Robert, hugs and hugs, sweetie. Sleep tight. I never understood bowling. Nobody was really. My uncle was into bowling, but nobody else was really into bowling when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I never quite got the point. Yes. Good night, Robert. We are just we are just holding off on that final Minnesota goodbye to see who makes their way in after the third Minnesota goodbye. You got to go pick up you ordered a pizza with all the pizza talk. Only cheese though. If I don't see you later, have a great night. Fraud, take it easy. You liked it, but you sucked at it, Kathy. I it's never been a game I'm any good at. It's never been but I've never been good at many physical games. Take care, Fraud. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. If somebody doesn't show up pretty quick, we're going to have to call it without a winner, y'all. This doesn't happen all the time. Your mom used to be in a bowling league. She got a trophy for being the worst player in the league. The trophy was called the Alley Oop. Wow, Sunrise Dawn. I hope that was all in good fun. If bowling is an option in your high school gym classes. Here goods go to the smoky bar exercise place by bus. The good old days. Yes. It is a great name, Lori. Nope. Nope. It doesn't affect me at all. Once I've hit the subscriber count, I've hit the subscriber count. Oh, good, Sunrise Dawn. Really, Kathy? Really, you got one too? No, it doesn't change anything. Okay. I picked a number. No Face says that's how we're picking out who won tonight. You guys all have to say a number between 1 and 7. And then I'll tell you what number I picked. Did I read that right? No Face? 1 and 7, yes. Kathy wins. He said Z. I picked a number between 1 and 7. Thaddeus, you're being. I thought it was between 1 and 7. 1 and Z? How do we pick a number between 1 and Z, No Face? You were robbed. 1 and Z. A through Z isn't a number, indeed. Z indeed. I'm glad y'all think it's funny. It's not your problem, No Face. What's the drink tonight, No Face? You didn't tell us what's the drink for tonight. In honor of the first edition of Wheel of Karrie, Wednesday Wheel of Karrie. You guys like this one? Is this a keeper? If it's a keeper, you're going to have to keep sending me questions to put on the list. You pick 420. Your D17 was close and it had a letter in it. Oh, y'all are cracking me up. Y'all are cracking me up. And I went to the dispensary yesterday. I have to make sure my videos do not glorify illicit drug use. Y'all just jealous because Kathy's. Coconut vodka with pineapple. With pineapple Fanta. Ooh, coconut vodka with pineapple Fanta. Cheap night. Okay, No Face. I like that. Steals the trophy. You guys were still waiting on who comes in after the third Minnesota goodbye. I sense overdeveloped sense of competition, overdeveloped sense of rivalry. Favorite movie, y'all. I mean, just like favorite movie, what is it? Drop it now. Lemon squeeze, raspberry vodka, and ice. Nice, Oregon Valley girl. The Sound of Music. Oh, Kathy. I love The Sound of Music. It was one of my grandmother's favorites. Enchanted April. Nice, Anne. I haven't seen that one. I will have to put it on my list. I like the title. The Warriors. I haven't seen that one either, Lori. Silence of the Lambs and Pretty Woman. Oh, Becky, that's an interesting mix. And sold, and you can't find it except for on VHS secondhand. You have 2 copies. Oh my, Anne. I'll have to. Can I find it on IMDb? Now I'm really curious. If I pay for the insurance. I don't know if I have a VHS player, Anne. I got what you meant, Becky. Half baked? Really no face. Weekend at Bernie's. Excellent. Excellent. So my favorite is The Princess Bride. My favorite is The Princess Bride. Tombstone. That's a good one. That is an excellent one. I like Weekend at Bernie's. From the 90s. Okay. Chick flick with some epic actors set in Italy. I will look it up, Anne. I will look it up. You love The Princess Bride too? Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. Anybody want a peanut? Okay, guys. I think we are going out without a winner tonight. We are long past a fourth Minnesota goodbye. Oh, the Santa Claus is wonderful. Traffic. Interesting. I've heard good things about that movie, Thaddeus. J. Not K. Yes, I got it, Sunrise Dawn. Your son has an old TV with a DVD and a VHS built in. Found an old Barney VHS and woke him up to it when he was 4. Yes. You still have a VHS player? Yes, Kathy. Skipping Christmas with Tim Allen. Interesting. Your oldest had a Barney movie on VHS and played it so many times it broke. Yeah, I knew so many people who hated Barney, and I said, yes, you hate Barney because you don't have children. Once you have children, Barney becomes your hero. Well, going back to talking about what technology is different, you guys remember when we bought programs on floppy disk and then we bought them on 3.5-inch disc, and then we was this big huge new thing, and we got them on CD, and then we got them in DVD, and now internet speeds are so fast you download that shit. You download that shit because internet speeds are so fast in most of the country. I don't know what people who still have dial up do. Barney the babysitter. Indeed. Barney could give you a half an hour. No face. You already did it once. You had a disc movie player. It was cutting edge. I remember those, and you still have some floppy disks. I wanted to give some work project to my boss as a joke. That'd be hilarious. Can you eat? Do you eat that? That is. Do you have? You have writable media, but you have hardware that'll write it. That's pretty amazing. That you still have hardware that you can make run that'll write to a floppy disk. Yes, and I believe there was. Thaddeus might know better, but I believe there was something like that before we had 3.5-inch floppies. Before that, we had 4.5, 5-inch floppies. Yes, I think we had bigger floppies before that for the bigger computers. You could probably build one up. It might be more difficult these days. I would just think you'd have, I don't know how you do it, Thaddeus. Somebody's got to have a dinosaur setup that will allow you to emulate. You'd have to emulate into software that old, I would assume. Wouldn't you have to, Thaddeus? No face, you're cracking me up. You're cracking me up. You are cracking me up, no face. You win the night. Sheldon uses them for his bad list on the Big Bang. Okay. Okay. Remember, even your oldest brother bought an Atari. We were the popular kids on the block. All our friends would come to play. I think there was. But that is before your time. I was a kid during that time, and at the time we were using TRS 80s, which loaded and saved programs on cassette tapes. Is that good, Oregon Valley girl? I asked if you would have to figure out how. There's got to be somebody out there who has systems working that will still read that kind of media. There's got to be people who can still read that kind of media. So there's got to be a way to set up an emulator or something. I was just curious if there was. I hope avatar-like freckles are a good thing, Oregon Valley girl. They are something that I was never thrilled with when I was younger, and I've finally come to peace with. That are something that are better rather than worse. You had Atari until the downstairs of our house flooded. Ataris don't swim. I'm so sorry, Sunrise Dawn. I remember when we got Pong. It was the coolest thing. Just playing Pong before even Atari. Think there is an emulator because your ex had one. Family had a tech school in San Jose in the 70s. We should all go watch Fraggle Rock and be happy. Oh, shit. Sunrise. Is Pup Groomer live? Fraggle Rock. Fraggle Rock is an interesting show. I never really liked Fraggle Rock either, but I still love you, No Face. Sunrise Dawn is. He collects old equipment. He might have that stuff. She isn't. Well, that surprises me completely. Not that I don't believe you. I do. That's unlike her. I thought she was going to go live by now. Clearwater Chat is. Well, I'll leave it up to chat. What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to go over to Clearwater Chat or do you want to wait for Jen? I love the electric company. I love the electric company. How about Schoolhouse Rock? No Face. I'm all about Schoolhouse Rock. And I love the electric company, but I adore Mr. Rogers. I think his puppets. Yes to electric company. Oh, good, Lori. Dusty, sweetie. Yes, I loved 321 Contact, Thaddeus. I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill. Mrs. Frizzle, yes. Schoolhouse Rock. Dusty, we do have a winner. Dusty, you made it. Is that tomorrow's live, Dusty? I'm going to be live on Dusty's channel tomorrow at 6, y'all, 6 my time, but that handy that handy dandy little link will tell you what time it is your time. Dusty and I will be there, as will Pup Groomer, as will Brain Fog, as will Oh Hell No, and Scooter Mom. Pup Groomer is live now. Excellent. Conjunction junction. What's your function? It will be a lot of fun, Kathy. I'm looking forward to it. I am really looking forward to it. Unpack your adjectives. Yep. Yep. Let's talk about hooking up things and making them sound right. Yep. Okay, guys. Go check out Pup Groomer, Captain Kangaroo, Romper Room, No Face, hooking up cars and making them function. Mm-hmm. Lots and lots of them. Hugs, everybody. I suppose I got to hit the stop button. Miss Marianne and her magic mirror. Yes, Mr. Morton. Mr. Morton. Bye bye, you guys.